Assquake.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Digi Bros.
Oh, I'm laughing about Assquake.
Let's scoot forward.
As always.
We're we're back. We're back from the briny deep.
From the briny deep, the Bronycon.
I mean, we've been back for like a while for the time we watched this. We're actually ahead of ourselves in this for once.
We're so
my
far
God.
ahead.
There's actually like
What the
episodes
fuck
that
was I
haven't
doing?
come out at the time that we're recording.
I need to get water bombs. That's what's happening, right? Yeah,
I
water
have
bombs.
no fucking idea.
Yeah, no, I need to get water
played
bombs.
this shit. We just spent 4 days in fucking.
But man, this is where
Baltimore.
the game really kind of opens up because I have Hyrule Castle and shit now, so I can really run around,
Yeah, it looks.
get my dick wet. I mean, my feet wet.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's
Ugh.
go over here. This looks like fun.
Some of those noodles gave me a lot of gas that I just ate. Oh, Vic, hey, what's going on,
What's
buddy?
going on?
What's happening?
Who
What
do
have you been doing, man? Where have you been?
Oh, I was hanging out
What's
today.
going on?
Me and Hope went to
Not-
dinner.
Least interesting day of the last week, I'm
I
sure.
was trying to have a very uninteresting day today. We had too
I
much
slept
interesting
all
going
day.
on.
Yeah, you know, this is really funny for me. You know, we came home from Bronycon, and the first thing I said was, I don't want to see or talk to anybody for a month. I just want to lock myself in a room and not talk to anybody. It's funny because I get on Skype and I get on Twitter and everyone else is like all post-con depression. They're all like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I miss all my friends. I wish I could go back. Why'd it have to be so short and stuff?" I'm like,
No.
dude, I just want to be home.
Dude, I'm fucking tired.
And I mean, but it's
Hell
obviously
no.
because this is how the last few months have gone for us. We had Trevor
I can't
show
do
up.
this yet. I need bombs.
Trevor came back from Florida, and he was hanging out with us like every fucking day.
Yes.
And then after like a week or two of Trevor being here, my friends Cider and Jeff Burgess from the pub crawl came, and I hung out with them for like 3 days straight. Then after about a month of Trevor being around all the time, Marcus came home he came home on leave from his military stay. So we hung out with him like every day he was here, went to all these different places, did all kinds of shit. And then in the time that he was here, Brando also showed up. And then we had Brando for like 2 weeks, hanging out with him, coming over. Him and Trevor always coming over as a pair. Then we went, or somewhere in between that, we went to Otakon and fucking did all kinds of shit there. And then, by the time Brando was leaving, we went to Bronycon and met all our friends there.
Yeah.
I'm sick of people. I'm sick of friends.
Yeah.
I'm sick of not making any money because I'm spending too much time with friends and not doing any of my work. Incidentally, I think I'm going to keep Digi Bros to this current just one a day for a while. The reason it's been one a day is that the last Earthbound playthrough got deleted, which I think everybody knows
There's
now.
not any more Digi and friends.
Yeah, so we had like 5 episodes of Digi and Friends that disappeared into the ether, and then we did start recording another game, but I don't know if we'll finish it before Trevor leaves. Trevor's the only one left. I think he leaves in like a week. So once Trevor's gone, we'll finally be free of all social interaction.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be so focused.
it's gonna be very
It's gonna
focused,
be
I
fucking
hope.
forward focus in this shit, man.
But yeah, it was really funny for me reading on Twitter how much everyone was like, "Oh my God, I missed everybody," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Thank God." The silence as
I can understand if you're in like an online relationship and you can't meet people, but then I'm the kind of person who's like,
or if you're just
I'm
bored.
totally fine hanging out once a year for a few days, and those are great
Right.
days. And I mean, but then these guys are also not like my best friends.
Right. Well, I mean, like, with like Ben and Jesse, they were just like, "Oh, back to my shitty life," you know. And I
Yeah.
was like, you know, obviously my home life isn't as shitty, but I had enough escape from reality already.
Yes.
You know, like I've been not doing my job as much as I should be for a couple of months now because I've had so much shit to do between people who want to hang out with me and places I wanted to go.
Yeah.
You know. Thankfully, the cost of both conventions came out much lower than I would have expected. So,
Uh-huh.
well, I mean, I probably spent like $300 at Otakon just on shit, like, but I felt like here's a topic of discussion that's nothing to do with the subjects of the cons, but we'll get back to them because I like this subject. Have you ever felt recently, and I feel like you might be in a similar boat to me, that you're like almost done buying stuff?
I guess, yeah.
Like you're almost done.
It's like I have enough swag. I don't really need much
like
more shit.
Like you've got almost everything that you need.
All I got at Bronycon was like 2 posters for Hope, and I didn't buy anything for myself. I was just like, I don't need shit.
I got a poster that I want to put on my poster wall, but I was staring at my wall and I don't know what to like replace it with. I mean, I'm sure I can figure out something, but like, I mean, in the time I've been working, you know, I've spent a lot of money on like big purchases, but I'm at the point where I've made most of the big purchases, and I don't really need another microphone. I won't need another computer for a few years. I won't need another laptop unless I break mine. I'm good on phone. I've got a 3 terabyte hard drive that still has a terabyte worth of space left on it that I bought when I started at Target. That tablet I've almost never used.
Oh, I know where to go.
Like equipment wise, I have like all the equipment I need except for like I want to buy some soundproof panels, and like other stuff to improve my studio setup and possibly turn my closet into like a recording studio. But none of it's like super expensive. It's just that I have other big. The only like really big purchase I have left is that I want to buy a bed, which my Patreon reached the goal tier. Like it was, if I make $400 a video, then I'll buy myself a bed was my goal, and I reached that. So after my next paycheck, I'll get to buy myself a Casper mattress, the ones they advertise on the biggest problem in the universe. So that's like the last really huge purchase I need for a while. And then, like, in terms of small stuff, like, I've been trying to just reach the point where I have filled my collection, where, like, I've always dreamed of having the otaku room where every wall is covered with posters, like, head to ceiling. And I'm finally really close to that. Like, for years, the issue was that posters are a little expensive, but more importantly, I could never find ones I wanted. And then, like, I just sort of had this really excellent time finding posters at Otakon, because that's like all I was looking for. I was like, I'm not buying fucking figures. I have enough figures. I have like my figure collection looks perfect the way it is. Everything is like
it's a lot of shit.
Everything's symmetrical. Like
there's a lot of shit.
Every shelf has like the right number of characters on it, that it fills the shelf space and looks symmetrical without looking crowded. Yeah. And that's like the most.
I think I got that way when I had my Gundam shelf still, where I was just like, I have filled this whole shelf. Like, it's not gonna fit another guy. Like, there's a perfect amount of dudes on here.
I think if I were to get any more, they'd probably be Kill La Kill related, because I really like the character designs from that. Like, for me, it was always about getting characters from all my favorite shows, or getting my favorite characters in at least miniature form, and then characters whose design I like really love. I would buy a toy of. But I have enough toys. The shelves look good. I have enough posters now. The walls look good. I just ordered this fucking, or just put up rather, and received this fucking kick-ass Ghost in the Shell poster that's on my back door. I've only got like 3 or 4 more spaces for posters. So once I have those filled, I will just be good for years on posters until I don't like some of these shows anymore and want to replace them, or find like posters that I absolutely need, which rarely happens because posters aren't that common. So like, it's sort of getting to that point where I can start putting away more money, or being less concerned about it, because
a responsible adult.
I don't know about all that. I mean, I did spend. The one thing I bought that like I really didn't need to was like the art book I got, which was only $35, so it wasn't that big a deal.
As long as you pace yourself.
Right. And I got a lot of T-shirts, which are always helpful, because like for me, T-shirts and posters are justifiable because I wear them in videos, you know. But it's like it's at that point where it's like I own most of the things I want. I'll probably just buy stuff to support the creators, you know. Like I still want to buy anime related products, to support the industry or whatever, but I might just buy fucking Blu-rays or whatever, or like, whatever's convenient. stuff that takes up less space as opposed to more space.
Wouldn't mind having Blu-rays, because now we're getting to the point where like, you think, like, oh, I can just download everything, I'll have all the shit, you know, in storage, but then it's like, then you run out of storage space, and you have to delete a bunch of shit, and then you don't have it anymore, and now you can't find the downloads for it, so it's like, alright, I'd rather just have it, a physical copy of it that's gonna be around forever, just in case that hard drive fucking explodes or something.
The funny irony of switching to a solid state drive is that they don't have a lot of space on them.
Yeah. Well, without being ridiculously expensive.
Right. Well, I have a solid state drive with like 250 gigs.
Yes.
And so that shit.
Can't hold shit.
That shit. Well,
fills up all the time.
Right. Well, because we film Digi Bros, and Digi Bros takes up a hell of a lot of data. Especially this particular series, for some reason, takes up ass tons of data. And it doesn't help that the program I'm using, and I need to figure out if there's a way to turn this off, but I haven't yet. It basically records the video twice, because there's one. It's saving one version with no audio. That's just like a backup, and then it saves like once I stop the recording, then the version with audio saves, and so.
That is tedious.
Yeah, it takes up a shitload of space. That's why there was that one stretch of episodes that had no audio, because after we were done recording, it started creating the file for the audio one, and I didn't have enough space, and so I start like trying to manically delete shit and move shit, and this is how I ended up deleting the Earthbound, like the last Earthbound play session, because it didn't.
Oh god, I didn't know that was gone.
Yeah, because it. That's what I'm saying. The last Earthbound was deleted. We told you that. That's
I didn't know.
Why it didn't come. I just said it like 10 minutes ago.
Oh. I wasn't paying attention. You know I don't pay attention to the things that come out of your mouth.
So while I was trying to move everything, I deleted the Earthbound thing from my computer, but the file that was transferred to the thing was corrupted, so that's how we lost it. And then I wasn't able to delete enough fast enough, and it couldn't finish the file, so it said, well, we give up on that one, so I just threw in the backup files that it had. But, yeah, it takes up a nightmarish amount of space. And so,
I had to get the water bombs by going to the shop and buying them. How fun is that?
As time goes on, it becomes more and more apparent that, like, yeah, you can download stuff online, but, like, the only place where anime stays seeded is like Baka BT, and then you have to fucking seed your torrents, or else you'll get banned. I'm sure if you do whatever Donson does, you can get stuff, but like,
yeah, disturbingly easy.
Yeah,
and then you have to go, what sort of fucking Illuminati magic is powering this system that it uses?
And I honestly watch a lot of stuff streamed because I don't care enough to like. Downloading takes longer than my attention span, you know, like, I want to watch stuff, I want to watch it now. You know, I pay for Crunchyroll and stuff like that, and I watch most current anime streamed that way, but, like, it was really nice to just be able to watch Nanoha A's on DVD, because I bought the DVD, like, 5 years ago and never watched it, and then I finally was just like, oh, I have it on DVD, I can watch that. Cool. It looks good.
DVD. Bro, I found a blue rupee? No shit.
I also think DVDs in general, I don't quote me on this. I don't know if this is true, if there's any science behind it. But
brace yourself, guys. Here comes some bullshit.
But in my experience, when I play DVDs on my computer, the upscaling is better than if I just had a 480p download. Tends to be the case. I don't know why, unless it's a DVD rip, in which case it looks just as good. So I guess DVDs like are just higher quality than the TV run or whatever. But yeah, it looks DVD rips and DVDs tend to look nicer upscaled.
Everyone buy DVDs.
Well, don't buy Blu-rays because that's the current technology.
Everyone buy Blu-rays.
Especially, like, it also helps. I didn't really have a dedicated Blu-ray player for a long time because we had the PS3 and
man,
that
watching
eventually broke.
Apocalypse Now on Blu-ray with that sound. That sound, man.
But yeah, now I have
on the big TV.
I have
Blu-rays kick ass.
I have a USB Blu-ray player because I was too foolish to include one in the initial build of my computer, which works all right. I mean, it works fine for Blu-rays. It is okay at trying to play PS2 games. But because our PS2 is broken, fucking garbage Sony consoles. Oh god, I got a ringing in my ear.
It lasted a fresh minute, man. Had a decent run.
Yeah, whatever. We already went on our console rant.
Console rants.
Episode 20 of
That's
Zelda.
the Digi Bros.
Ocarina
That's
of
us. We
Time.
rant about consoles.
Oh my god, that thing's adorable.
I'll get some lantern oil.
Um,
This is that point where I should probably go, like, get a bunch of bottles, get some heart pieces and shit.
yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Usually I'd use the strategy guide to
It's
find all
actually
that.
starting
we
to
should,
feel like
we
a
should
Zelda
go break out
game.
the strategy guide.
Oh my god, that's right, you have the Zelda Bible.
Yes, I do.
There's this strategy
It
guide.
is a beautiful
The
guide.
strategy guide for this game, they released it in like this hardback, like all brown, like leather looking book with like gold trim on it, and it's just like the Zelda logo. It doesn't even say
Yeah.
what it is.
There's one of those for all the newer games.
I don't think you even knew it was a strategy guide when you got it, did you?
No, Mom had bought it for me for Christmas. She
Remember,
didn't know what the hell it was.
right. I remember us being like, "Whoa, it's beautiful. What the hell is it?" And then we got it and we were like, "Oh, it's just a strategy guide." Like, I think we were kind of expecting something more like the Zelda
Yeah.
book they eventually
The Hyrule
made.
Historia.
Yeah, Hyrule Historia. But
Everyone's like, oh, it's a strategy guide for the game, but you just got me the game, so cool.
right. And you know,
I think I'm actually supposed to go exploring after I beat the water temple and I get the hook shot. Because there's two parts of the game in the strategy guide where it's like, this is the part where you're gonna fucking explore everywhere.
right.
It's called like Great Treasure
Hey,
Hunt.
but this is starting to actually feel like a Zelda game.
Yes.
You're actually fucking running around, not on a railroaded path.
Hey.
Fuck, what was I talking about? Right. Owning everything.
and shit,
I own a
yeah.
record player.
Yeah, all
I
kinds
don't
of shit.
use it a lot, but yeah, it's like all these things that are like $100, which like when I was a kid would be prohibitive.
There's
you
something
know?
I saw on Tumblr that was just like that point when you're an adult and then it's like $100 is nothing special anymore. You realize that $100
Yeah.
is nothing. That is the most depressing point. Because a kid, $100 is like, that's the most money. It's $100.
I wouldn't say it's a depressing point. It's a very awesome point. It makes me feel great that
Doesn't make me feel
$100 doesn't mean
great.
anything.
It makes me feel like, oh god, I just got paid $100 and I feel nothing about it.
No, well, I feel the opposite. I feel when I get $100, it's like when I was a kid, if I had $100 to my name, I felt like I had a shitload of money.
Yes.
But I would never drop that in one place
Uh-huh.
because it was always a very quantity
Okay,
over
well in that context, I
quality
guess, when
type
you drop
thing, right?
$100 and you're like, oh, it's not a big problem.
right.
That's one
exactly.
thing. But when you get a paycheck and it's under $100,
well, that doesn't happen
then
because
then you feel pretty
I
bad.
don't work for fucking.
I gotta
chump
pay. I
shit.
cashed a $65 check today, and it was just like,
For what?
you know, it was an easy check to get. It was just like helping out with the wedding, or it
Oh,
wasn't
the
like a
one
full
where
thing.
you were only there for like a few hours.
But I was like, that was easy money, but it's only $65. It's not. It's fucking nothing, you know.
yeah, but you
Like that just
don't
helps me
cash
get to the
one
next
check for all the things you do. You cash one check
Yes.
for each individual job, so you should view it like.
But I know how long it's gonna be till I get a bigger check.
Aren't you about to start up the basketball season again and start making money through that or whatever?
No, there was doing football, and I just decided not to do that.
Oh, really?
Because doing football fucking sucks, and so I just like didn't respond to the schedule request, and so they put out a schedule today,
I see.
all filled up, and I was like, all right, I basically don't work there anymore. Which I'd only planned to work there for the basketball season anyways.
Right.
But it's something you don't want to get your weekends trapped in, because I'd end up trapped in these schedules I can't get out of, and then I get to do no weddings, which makes way more money in a single day.
That's a good point.
Or any projects I want to do on the weekend, all of a sudden I'm trapped and I can't do anything.
Right. Very
That
good.
is what I would like to avoid.
Very clean.
Very clean.
But yeah, like
Fucking
as a kid, if I had
progress.
$100, I would buy a bunch
Can't
of
fight
stuff.
them,
I
I
would
don't
never
want
buy
to.
something that costs $100.
Uh,
I'd buy like a few volumes
you
of
buy a
manga,
bunch of little
few
bullshit
DVDs.
that you thought was gonna amount to something better than it was.
Right. Just because it's always been difficult for me to like I worked and got all this money and now I'm gonna drop it in one place. It was always
Yeah.
scary, you know. But now, if something costs $100 and I just got paid, I can just buy it. Like
Yes.
it's, you know, and then I have it. And a lot of it's stuff, like I said, where I said I'm like done buying things because most of that stuff is stuff that I needed forever. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this microphone was $300, but I don't need another microphone. Like, I will be able to use this microphone for as long as I need a microphone, unless it gets damaged or
Yeah.
burns out. You know, I didn't get like a super nice record player, but I got one that's about as good as I'll need. You know, because I don't listen to my records that much. I buy them more to have them.
Kind of like I was trying to buy this new slider, and I was just like, you know, I was ready to drop 250, like at least for a decent slider, but then the one I really wanted was like 500 or something, and I was like, you know, almost ready to drop $500 on a slider. Just the fact that I had that much money and I could, you know, do that was cool. And I ended up buying a $70 slider. I was like, I don't know how much I'm going to need this, and this one looks like it could get the job done perfectly fine for what I'm going to use it for.
I dropped $100 on a slider because you convinced me to buy it, and I've used it once.
Well,
and
you had this
used
big
it like
idea
5
for this
times.
project you wanted to do, where you're supposed to like do this documentary thing and go around
Do
and
you
review
think the
restaurants.
slider would have been good for it?
Yeah.
Do you think that slider?
I think it would have added some production value for
you
transitions.
Hate that slider.
I didn't know that, and it didn't always
If-
suck. When
if-
we first got it, it was all right.
If we were to do
just
that
very quickly
project, would you
deteriorated.
use that slider or your new one?
Maybe
Both.
both. The problem with that
Probably both.
slider is that I can't use it for event things like weddings,
Right.
because it requires 2 tripods to use at a height that is not like ankle fucking height.
Right.
So it fucking sucks. Like I have to lug it around, and it's just like, you know, it was cheap, and so now the track isn't as smooth as it used to be unless you put like a
Right.
lot of weight on it. It just kind of jitters. Like I used it once, I was like, oh, this sucks. You need the 2 tripods, or it's totally worthless.
All right. Well, that conversation took up more time than it felt like. So next time on Digi Bros,
Yeah, that
we'll
was a
start
22-minute
talking about-
episode.
We'll start talking about Bronycon, I guess.
Browniecon.